Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Guiding Star channel. Do I have a treat in store for you today? Today, I want to introduce our resident Guiding Star tarot card reader, Apryl Gardella. Apryl, welcome so much from the bottom of my heart to my channel.
Yes, thank you so much, Kesenya. We've been talking about this for a while, so it's wonderful to see it finally coming to fruition. Yeah.
It really is. Now, Apryl and I have known each other for quite some time, quite a few years now. We met via the Astrologer channel in the beginning, but we've become very good friends ever since first encountering one another there. I also recently was so inspired by Apryl's talents and abilities as a tarot card reader. Last year, in 2022, I went through rather a difficult time in a relational situation. And Apryl was one of only 3 people who, you know, when you're in those difficult times, you're reaching out to everyone. What's going to happen? Can you help me? And that's where astrologers and tarot card readers really offer services that sort of support people and give people hope. And Apryl was one of only 3 people who actually got it right, so to speak, about what was unfolding in my life and what was about to happen. So I owe Apryl a big debt of gratitude for holding space for me in a difficult period of my life. And she's amazing that way. You know, she's very intuitive with how she works with tarot. And so after that experience, I really was hopeful that Apryl would be keen to come share on Guiding Star Astrology. And here she is, everyone. So I'm so pleased, Apryl.
Kesenya, there's no other place I'd rather be, honey. You know that. Yeah.
Do you want to tell us a little about yourself, Apryl? Obviously, from your accent, you're from America. Do you want to share about where you're from and maybe a little bit of your story and how you came to be practicing as a tarot reader?
Sure. Yeah, I live in New Jersey. I'm from New Jersey in the US. And I grew up down the shore. I had a rough upbringing, I'd say, but you know, I think that anybody who kind of faces challenges early on, we're being set up for soul growth. So I look back on everything as an opportunity for growth, and I really, as an Aries sun, I took the bulls by the horn, so to speak, and really dove into anything that wasn't healthy that I was taught growing up, and really kind of went through the healing of the inner child journey. And that was amazing. You know, it was really amazing. And, you know, I had a less than desirable parents. So I kind of had to parent myself and my 2 other siblings. And then come to find out I was their mother in another life. So it just kind of worked out in the way that it was supposed to, I guess.
Yeah.
And I kind of had to let go of the reins a little bit as they got older, because what once was so welcomed became, you know, they started to rebel, like, you're not my mother, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm thinking to myself, if only you know.
Yeah. Do you have that naturally caring personality too, that's just so warm and supportive that way? So yeah, sorry,
Yeah, no, I've taken care of people my whole life. My grandparents, in my 20s, I stopped whatever I was doing and just took care of my grandparents. And I stayed with them for about 10 years until, you know, inevitably they passed on. So yeah, so I'm a natural caretaker, and my life has been set up in a way where I'm just, I signed up to learn this lifetime. So, you know, repeated challenges, challenge after challenge. You're like, instead of looking up and saying, why me? You know, I look at, like, what can I learn from this? What can I learn from this? You know, I almost welcome adversity now, I think, as I've gotten older, because I know on the other side is soul growth, you know, and maturity and wisdom, which is what I'm focused on right now in my life.
Yeah.
I want to be so wise. Like, wisdom is the word.
And you are.
Yeah.
You really are. And that's one of the great gifts you offer in the readings that you do, not only the caring and compassion that you give to every reading, but that the knowledge from everything that you've been through and everything that you've learned. So it's powerful. It's made you a powerful reader.
It has. I've been, I would say, psychic and a medium since I was a child. I didn't understand what they were then. I just kind of knew that I knew things, and I felt people and presences and things like that. And then as I got older and discovered what it was, I thought it was amazing.
Yeah.
And I've always been kind of more comfortable with the spirit world than the earthly world, but my North Node kind of implies that I have to gel with the world now. So that's been
Where
a
is your
transition.
North Node then? Everyone's going to
Um,
want to know.
it's in Leo. Yeah, it's my North Node's in Leo in the second house.
Uh-huh.
So, Leo North Node is all about getting off of the sidelines and kind of interacting. Opposite is Aquarius, the
Yeah.
loner. So
Yeah.
I'm kind of always been more comfortable in that role, but it's time for something else. So, and this is a part of that, I want to say. This is a part of my coming out. I usually just read for friends and stuff privately behind closed doors. So yeah, I've always been intuitive, highly intuitive. Even when I picked up astrology and started like really getting into astrology, it just came so naturally to me. And I could literally look at a chart and kind of intuit it. I can kind of tell who the person is by just a quick glance.
Yeah.
The signs and the placements and the houses and things. So, and I find that kind of makes for the best reader, whether it's tarot, a chart, a person, like reading people.
Yeah. Yeah. That you're got that instinctive intuition and gut feel. Yeah.
And I think that's probably the main ingredient if we're going to do what we're doing, like, in these arenas. I would say that's the main ingredient. If you don't have that, I'm not saying that you can't do it. I just don't think you'd be as good at it. That's my personal thoughts on it.
Yeah, to be able to listen. It's listening to your higher self, isn't it? And the guidance, and that's the methodologies we use are simply the tools that we use to listen to higher self. So they go hand in hand. So it's really beautiful.
Yeah, and I've always been a seeker, I would say. Like, my sun is in the 9th house in Sagittarius. Higher knowledge, like just give me, feed me, and my moon in Sagittarius, so just feed me, and knowledge has its merit. I know a lot of people would say, knowledge isn't anything unless you apply it, but some of us just are naturally knowledgeable. Like David, for instance, I would say, like his mind is like this. When I hear him sometimes, like make those connections, I'm like, whoa! I'm like, can I just drink that through a straw, please?
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
I know. He has a friend he's described him having a pumpkin-sized brain. So you just imagine the big Halloween pumpkin. Yeah. And it's true. For those who don't know, David is my partner, and who Apryl was reading for me about back in 2022. So and so you're still in New Jersey then?
Yes, I'm still in New Jersey.
Yeah. And so you are, when you're reading for people through Guiding Star Astrology, you're able to do so via Zoom. Do you do live readings for people, or do you do pre-recorded?
I actually prefer live, because even though it's through a computer, I can still feel the person's energy, through technology, I would prefer live. Yeah. But I can do pre-recorded if it doesn't work for the person to be live, so I'm open to anything. I just want to get out there and help others as best I can.
And that's something that really strikes me about you, Apryl, is that your main mission in life is to support and help others, as you've mentioned, with your siblings and your grandparents, and you've been doing that since forever, and it's obviously a big energetic driver in you to be that person, who's helping and supporting. Now, where's Cancer in your chart? If Leo's the second house, are you using whole sign astrology? You're not Cancer rising, are you? You're Leo rising.
No, I am in Vedic astrology, but my Cancer's in the 12th house for me. So a lot of problems with my family. So, as I got older, astrology kind of like is an anecdote, right? When we read our charts, we're like, oh my God, this is why this is why this is why this. And it was destined to happen. So, that gets kind of rid of victimhood.
Absolutely.
And accountability, and saying, and I believe we choose our paths before we get here. So just that, coupled with our charts, it's all on us and up to us, right?
It is, but that's one of the most powerful things when I first discovered astrology, was looking back at my life and saying, oh,
Yeah.
oh, oh.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
understanding history, your personal history, as well as if you want to look at global history and stuff as well, it just all makes so much sense through the lens of astrology, and through understanding the past, it then gives you empowerment to work well with the future, because you can get a gist of what's coming up with astrology. But tarot, tell us a little bit, give us a little bit of your wisdom seeker, give us a little bit of your wisdom around tarot, because that's a modality that I haven't used a lot of, but I'm very intrigued by myself. So how does tarot sort of work, if you like?
So how does it work, or how did I first get started in tarot?
Both. Tell us how you got into tarot, and yeah, what, for those who aren't familiar with tarot, what it does for us.
Okay, so I first got into tarot reading through a bad relationship. I felt like I needed not the usual advice, like, like usual advice, like, screw him, you deserve better. It's like, okay, well,
that's culture advice.
Yeah, that's a given. Yeah. But like, how do I do that? And so I felt like I needed something deeper. So I started listening to tarot readings online on YouTube.
Yes.
And because my moon's in Sagittarius, I am a self-taught person. So I absorbed it like so quickly. And then a short while after, I started reading for my friends, and we were both equally amazed at how accurate they were. I even read for my godson. He was 14 years old, and I didn't know anything about his personal life, but the cards revealed everything. Even the sign of the girl that he was seeing. So
no secrets in tarot.
Yeah. So heartbreak, essentially, just like everything else, led me to tarot. And tarot has been such a guiding light. I truly believe tarot, like astrology, is a guide. They're guides. And then I channel other people's guides. I have my own guides, and they kind of assist me along with that. So yeah, it was heartbreak, that hard lesson again, which brought me to something so beautiful and helpful. So it helped me, and I want to help others with it. I think I put that in my bio as well.
Just like you were saying in the beginning, it's those hardships that break us open to new knowledge, new wisdom, and, in this case, a powerful tool. So how do you work with the tarot? How does it help people?
The tarot, basically, so there's, how there's like cookbook astrology, like it's like this, and that. And we know as astrologers that it's more intuitive than that. So kind of what I do is I go by intuitively what the card is kind of saying to me. And I have my own interpretations of the cards. And I have been successful in going with that and being correct and validated that it's more correct than maybe like what the book would say about it, So even with these, it's very intuitive. And I love, I don't know if you want to go into the history of tarot. I mean, we could do that as well.
Just a little bit. That would be kind of interesting.
So the most interesting thing about it, and what absolutely drew me to it, is that I read once that Thoth, the Egyptian god of knowledge, came up with the 22 cards of the major arcana, from the Fool to the World. And if you look at the Fool and the World, it's the journey to enlightenment, right?
Wow.
So the world being, once you've gone the journey, you go out into the world and share it. And what he did, because he was so clever, is he sold it to the gypsies, because he knew that through their greed, excuse me, for lack of a better word, that the path would get out there through tarot. And I just thought, like, that, again, mind-blowing, amazing, gives it more meaning, made it more meaningful for me. And then,
so when did the suites come in then, if the major arcana began with
the suits?
Sorry, suits. I called them suites. Sorry.
That's okay.
That's how little I know.
I think because it just made sense to have the four elements, because even in our charts, we're all made up of the four elements. So I kind of see that corresponding with astrology, because there are, for example, swords represent air, pentacles represent earth, wands represent fire, and cups represent water. So I think it corresponded and aligned with astrology in that way eventually. Yeah.
And did that come from Thoth as well, or was it just the major arcana that?
No, I think that it's just the first 22 cards of the major arcana. Yeah. So the other cards the gypsies had already come up with. So he thought, because he was a genius, let me just slide these in there, and then the secret's the key to enlightenment will get out there without anybody even knowing.
Yeah.
And that was truly amazing for me. Yeah.
Beautiful. Beautiful. So speaking of the different elements, we're going to do a reading for everybody now that is by element. I might just step back and hand it over to you. I might even change, if I can, the view so that it's totally on you and you can go through and do a reading for us all.
Wonderful. So I have it separated by elements. I'm going to do air first, then earth, then fire, then water. And I figured doing it this way would not have anybody feel left out, since Aries is the first sign, and most tarot readers start with Aries through Pisces, and then Pisces is left waiting like, when's it my turn? So I just figured I'd do this to alleviate any waiting, for lack of a better word, and keeping it fair.
Yeah. Perfect. So, perfect.
And then I also have an oracle card. So this is the butterfly oracle card, and butterflies are very sacred to me. When I was sick, I asked love or source or God, whatever you would like to call it, for a sign if I was going to get better. And I asked specifically for butterflies. And the next day I saw them everywhere. I mean, I was looking at cards that my friends had from other people, to TV shows, to car seats. It just was unbelievable, the amount of butterflies I started seeing. And then I was at a memorial earlier this morning for a good friend of mine, and she and I always had butterflies in common. So if I would see, she lived in Texas, if I would see butterflies here, I would video record them and send them to her and say, thinking of you. She ended up passing away from cancer.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
And I just felt drawn to the butterfly oracles today in her honor. So
that's beautiful. Butterflies, I don't know, whenever I see like something significant in nature, like a butterfly flitting around my face at the park or something like that, or I don't know, a duck crossing the road in front of me, or I will always like Google, butterfly totem, and I find it's such a powerful tool, Omen, for understanding where we're at. The universe, the world is speaking to us all the time in little subtle ways that we don't always recognize. But once we know, okay, butterflies are in my field. Okay, what does that mean? What is that? And I think it's got, from memory, butterflies to do with joy and lightness,
transformation. And transformation. And it's even, I think it's even more special when you ask for something specific. Because then it's directly from source in the universe. That the universe can actually hear us, right?
Yes.
If we believe that the universe can hear us and it answers back, and that has been my experience for as long as I've been on Earth. Even as a child, I would talk to trees, and they would talk back to me with me. So it's just the universe is alive and it hears, and it's alive.
So beautiful.
So
everything is an interaction with the divine, isn't it? And having the eyes to see. This is something that I love about you, Apryl, is that you are constantly looking for that interaction with the divine, and so you get it. So you receive. If we're not asking, how can we receive? And you're constantly seeking that out. And I think that's just, it's beautiful. And this is why you have this beautiful intuitive spirit that comes across so gorgeously. Do you want to perhaps start with, I'll let you lead away and start your reading. And that's beautiful about the butterfly totems. I think that's just perfect. It's one of my totem animals. I have about 3 of them that have been very significant to me. So I think I just love that you chose that, because for both of us, has meaning. So
yeah, and no coincidence there, right? There's no such thing as coincidence. So
no.
Okay, well, I will get started.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see here. So I'm going to start with air signs first. I'm going to do Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. I decided to do them in order, according to the zodiac. Okay, so let's get started. How I read, I have two methods of reading. The first one is a 5-card pull with bottom of the deck energy, and then I'm going to read the oracle card. So let's see what's in store.
If I could just, sorry, I was just going to say,
no.
You were probably about to just say it then and get where
I was.
You go right ahead. I was going to say we're reading for what's going on in the world in people's lives at the moment.
So this is current energy reading. Yes, Kesenya, we're so like-minded and on the same wavelength always. Yes, this is a current energies reading. We can discuss future readings in the future, if that's what we're going to do. So, okay, so we'll get started on Aquarius. This can be Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. Okay, I want to make that clear. I also want to make it clear that if anything doesn't resonate with anybody, this is a general read. So just bypass the parts that don't fit and keep the ones that do, Okay, so Aquarius, current energies, let's see. 5 of Cups, Knight of Swords, and I don't read reversals. I should say that. I don't do reversals.
Can I ask why?
I just don't feel like
right
gravitated towards it. Yeah, no.
And I know maybe quite a few tarot readers who do not, and so
yeah. Well, maybe it just never felt right to me. I mean, I know that they can be accurate as well. It just, I don't know. It just doesn't feel right. Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay, so we have, let's see, the 5 of Cups, the Knight of Swords, the Emperor, and I do a middle of the spread read. So the Emperor is in the middle. Queen of Wands, 6 of Swords, and then the bottom of the deck energy is the Star. So what I'm seeing here is there's some grief we're starting off with the 5 of Cups. The 5 of Cups, again, cups are water, which equal emotions, is sadness. Okay, so there's some kind of defeat feeling, some kind of letdown, some kind of disappointment. This could even be indicative of a breakup. Okay, so there's the 5 of Cups. Then we move along to the Knight of Swords. Swords it's the mind. So the Knight of Swords would be indicative of thinking your way through this. Somebody wants to think their way through this, and Aquarius is an air sign, so this is perfect for an Aquarius. But I would say the advice here is to get more deeply into your emotions and kind of do that introspection through the emotions and try to get out of your mind a little bit. So the middle of the reading, we have the Emperor. So this is Aries. This is power. It's also indicative that you have the power to get out of the sadness, and it's not going to be through thinking. It's really digging in through your emotions and feeling your feelings, and not trying to analyze everything and intellectualize it. Feel your feelings, Aquarius. That's the advice. And then the card next to the Emperor is the Queen of Wands, another fire sign. This is Leo. So combined with Aries and Leo here, this is confirming you have the power, you have the capacity to get through this heartbreak or whatever it is that's disappointing or making you feel sad. And hold on to this energy. The 6 of Swords, another wonderful card. This implies a moving on. So we see this journey from sadness to trying to intellectualize to having the strength to get through it, and then finally moving on. The 6 of Swords is a moving on card. So whether it be, a disappointment at work, a disappointment in love, the end result is moving on. And then the bottom of the deck energy, which supports the reading, is the Star, Aquarius. So how funny. The Star implies hope. So there's hope in this situation. And I just think that, push through whatever it is you're going through right now as best you can, get out of your head, dig into your heart, and you will be successful at overcoming whatever it is that's making you upset or sad at this time. And then the oracle card we have is healing from the past. So this spread kind of implies healing is needed, right? Yeah. So this is your oracle card. I asked specifically for each sign for the universe to kind of guide you. And Aquarius, this is your guidance for right now, not forever, but right now. It's time to heal from the past. So yeah, so take this advice. I hope it resonates. Again, if it doesn't, if none of this resonates, it's for someone else. But if a small part of this reading does, then take that with you. Okay, so let's move on to Gemini. Okay, continuing with air signs, we're now going to read for Gemini, and these are current energies, current, present energies. And I like to tell everybody, I'll just repeat myself, if something doesn't resonate with you during the reading, this is a general read, so take what applies and leave what doesn't. You never have to force yourself to fit to any reading. Don't ever do that, because if the message is for you, it'll hit home. If it's not, it'll feel off, and you should trust yourself with that. Okay, so let's see what we have for Gemini. Gemini we got the King of Coins coming out first, the Ace of Wands. Oh, this is good. The Ace of Coins, the Ace of Pentacles, the Nine of Wands, the Three of Swords, and then bottom deck energy is the Ace of Cups. So you, Gemini, you got 3 aces. That is incredible. That is amazing. So I kind of feel with all the pentacles here that this is probably more geared towards finances and stability. Yeah, I'm definitely feeling that. So the King of Coins came out first, or King of Pentacles. I'm reading, this is the Fountain Tarot, so they have kind of different verbiage. But the King of Coins is essentially the King of Pentacles. And this would imply either a male figure, a father figure, someone in your life who is offering you stability. That's number one. Or you could be the King of Pentacles, Gemini. Maybe you have a lot of earth in your chart, and this would imply a solid, stable personality. Or again, like a partner who's very stable, or a partner who's an earth sign. Take it how you will. But this is, this is stable, and this also implies money. So, you may be having great luck with like the market or something, or maybe you just got a raise at work. So take whatever this implies, however it resonates with you, and take that. So the King of Pentacles is a great card. I'll say that. Then you have the Ace of Wands. So the Ace of Wands is inspiration. It's a new beginning. It's also, if this King of Pentacles is your partner, this would imply that you guys are very passionate, that you have a very passionate love, and you're very sexually attracted to one another, which is, that's perfect for any kind of healthy relationship. Yes. Huh?
It's essential.
Yes, it is. Yeah. Sexual chemistry and that passion, it is, especially for fire signs, if you're a fire sign. But yeah, this is so this, along with this, I'm going to say that this is probably a person that you're dealing with. You have a partner who you're very, for lack of better word, sexually attracted to, or it could be on the other end of the coin, they're very sexually attracted to you. If it's not that, if this is a work or money reading, this would imply a new beginning or a new start. And so yeah, it's a great, Gemini, you got really a good spread for the most part. So okay, so we'll do that. This is great. This is fiery and passionate. I'm almost sweating a little bit. Then you got the Ace of Pentacles. Again, with the Pentacles, which is why I probably am leaning towards this being a money situation for you guys. And the Ace of Pentacles implies a new beginning in a financial start. Maybe you're getting into the market. Maybe there's this relationship here that's having a new beginning, or you met someone new who you are very, very, very attracted to, I would say. And, you know, Gemini loves to flirt. So I'm sure that there's no shortage of men or women for you to kind of have this with. So yeah, this is a really great, very good card. It also implies stability, just like the King of Pentacles. So yeah, just whatever you're doing, I would say stay the course, because all of these pentacles imply stability. So whatever you're doing it right. And you can just keep the course. Now, the Nine of Wands implies that there's some kind of conflict involved. Maybe you met somebody new. Maybe you're kind of in your head a little bit, like, do they like me? Do they not like me? Should I text first? Should I wait for them to text me? You know, all those nuanced questions that we all face when newly dating somebody. But yeah, I would say, again, because Gemini's an air sign, which is the intellect ruled by Mercury, I would say to get out of your head a little bit and try sinking more deeper into your heart and focusing on your emotions. And I see in this reading that you will get there. So I'm kind of giving you a little preview of what's to come, but I have to read everything that's in this alignment. And then here we are, we have the Three of Swords, which should indicate, typically the Three of Swords indicates heartbreak, but I'm going to interpret it differently for you guys. I think this is more of like, again, my advice reading these cards is to kind of get out of your head a little bit, because again, swords is air signs, which you are. And I think the overthinking can really sabotage something really good, because all the cards previous to this one kind of imply that this is stable. It's like a yes. If I had to say yes or no, it's a yes, go for it kind of energy. But then you get the Three of Swords, which is like, I was in my heart, but now I'm stuck in my head. You know, I would say sink more into your heart, Gemini, if you can. And then I think that that's where you'll find your happiness. And then the bottom of the deck energy is the Ace of Cups. So this is the #1 love card. It's not the soulmate card. It's just a new beginning in love. Like the Lovers or the Two of Cups would be like a partnership card. But this is the ultimate heart card, I would say. So the Ace of Cups is, again, exactly what I'm advising you, is to sink down into your heart. You know, the heart for me is the intuitive part. Like, it's not the brain, it's not the mind, it's the heart. So just follow your heart, Gemini, and it whatever your heart's saying to you, just follow that. And then, I mean, I see success here. So whatever it is that you're kind of starting and either starting over or beginning is going to be successful, but you got to get out of your head a little bit. And then your oracle card is Be True to You. So this is so fitting. So be true to yourself. Like if you feel at all like you're compromising just to keep a partner or something, that's never going to work, right? Because only our authentic selves get what we truly want and need. So I would say, if you feel like you're compromising at all in this partnership, to not do it. I would take this advice as to, stick with yourself, stick with your gut and your instincts, and it won't lead you astray, and you'll get to exactly where you need to be. And I firmly believe that that's true. Thank you, Gemini. Thank you. Hello, Libra. Welcome to your reading. I always say this disclaimer at the beginning of all reads. If the reading doesn't resonate with you totally, you don't have to accept anything I say. So keep the parts that resonate and discard the ones that don't. And this is a read for current energies as I'm reading this. So present and current energies. Okay, so we'll start. We have the Page of Cups, Five of Swords, Queen of Coins, Pentacles, Nine of Cups, Death, Cups. Okay, so starting off your reading, we have the Page, which were messengers back in the Old English time. So pages are messengers, and because this is a Cups card, it's a younger person who you might be dealing with, or you're going to receive a message from, but it's going to be a message of love because it's Cups. It could be your child, it could be somebody younger than you. Maybe you're dating somebody younger. Yeah, but some kind of message is going to come through a younger person. And pages are usually like, it's good news. So I would expect good news to start out from the time you're reading this. So some kind of good news or news from a younger person, somebody you love, is going to be on its way. And yeah, so that's good to start off with. Now we have the Five of Swords. So this news could bring some conflict mentally. You could experience anxiety, or you are presently experiencing anxiety. So I would say a good tool for getting out of our heads is meditation. Like if you don't have a meditation practice, I would advise that maybe during this time you try it out, see how it works for you. I am an avid meditator. It's amazing, and I would share it with the world. I'd scream it from the rooftops if I could. But it's just kind of it's a means to get out of the head. And when we're in our heads, it doesn't do us any good. It doesn't serve us. So I would advise you to maybe like meditate, even if it's just like closing your eyes for a minute and breathing and taking a deep breath and letting it out. Yeah, I would say get out of your head a little bit, and again, you're an air sign, so it's kind of like par for the course to be in your head. And it's so funny, I read for Aquarius and Gemini, and of course they all had swords into the mind in their reading, so you guys can be prone to that. But the advice here is to either drop down into your heart or discover like a meditation practice if you don't already have one. So that'll behoove you, Libra. So I read my cards kind of as a journey. So if you meditate, it's going to bring you to the Queen of Pentacles. So the tarot cards are feminine and masculine, but this could resonate for anyone. I want to make that clear that whether you're a male or female, it doesn't matter. This could apply to both. So by getting yourself out of this negative headspace, you will become the Queen of Pentacles rather, which is a stable energy. It's more stability, and it's in the middle of your reading. So this is the advice card, I like to say. Or no, actually, the middle of reading is the result from the advice. I just gave you the advice with meditation. So if you meditate, you'll be more grounded. Pentacles is earth energy, so it's going to ground you, and you'll get out of your head and be able to move forward with whatever you have going on right now at this present moment in time in your life. And it also can be indicative of you finding a partner you find stable, someone you think the world of, because the Queen is kind of, if you're a man, you may have met the woman of your dreams, and if you're a female, you could have met the man of your dreams. But either way, it's going to benefit you to kind of ground yourself. Just ground yourself, get out of your head, and this will bring rewards in the area of stability, getting out of your head and becoming more grounded, I would say. Then when you do that, after you do that, you will experience the Nine of Cups, which is a dream come true. It's not the 10 of Cups, you're almost there. The Nine of Cups is you're getting closer, okay? So whatever it is your heart desires at the present moment, you have a good chance of getting, whether it be a relationship, that job, emotional stability. It's going to happen for you. And then even further, you'll evolve into the 10 of Cups, which is the total happiness card. So everything in your life, while life is, a cycle of good and bad times, you'll be mostly good times. So you're on your way. If this applies and you're resonating with this reading, it'd be good for you to get out of your head a little bit. And then, also, I just want to add this too. When we're in our heads, the universe it's kind of like we block the channel. When there's too much mental chatter going on, it kind of like that's kind of how we self-sabotage. I like to say it, because if you're not clear and grounded and open to whatever's going to come, you can actually block your blessings. And so that's also another message here. I would recommend meditation for you. And then that will lead to a calmer mind, which will allow you know, whatever you're trying to manifest in easier, I would say. And the Nine of Cups is a pretty darn good card. So this is happiness and impending happiness. So yeah, keep the course. And then I love this card. People look at the Death card as like, you know, doom and gloom, but I look at this as an amazing card. That's the card of transformation. You know, out with the old, in with the new. It might not feel good, but in the end, it's always worth it. You know, that's what we're here to do. We're here to grow and evolve, and we're here for soul growth. And, you know, if we didn't, life would be so boring, you know, and there would be no real purpose in my arena, in my thoughts. But yeah, so there's a transformation coming, and I could kind of see it in this spread, like the message, the anxiety, the stability, the happiness. Yeah, so you're Gemini, you're really going through like an
Libra.
influx of,
sorry, there's Libra.
yeah.
No, that's okay. You're in the zone.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I think, yeah, okay. Libra, you're really in the flux. Like I see you in your heart, in your head. You know, you're kind of just going through, I see confusing times, but if you ground yourself, you will become the Queen of Pentacles, more grounded, more clear, and then whatever it is you're trying to manifest, whether it be love, a job, you know, health, it'll allow the universe to kind of open. Our minds are like a sponge, so the universe will come rushing in and give you what you desire. And then the bottom of the deck energy is the Three of Cups. This is the celebration card. So after you make it through this rough time, which is temporary, you know, it's not forever, nothing's forever. This is just the current energy spread. You're going to be in some sort of celebratory mode, something that you're going to get positive news. We see it at the beginning here, but you will be celebrating. This is a friendship card. Maybe your friends will be supporting you. Maybe you will find love or get that job, you know, but celebration is coming at the end of all of this, you know, and you just got to push through, stay the course, you know, and don't be afraid to transform. You know, that's, again, I sound like a broken record, but that's essentially what we're here for. You know, the earth plane is a place to come and learn and transform and connect with our higher selves. So don't be afraid to kind of dive into that. And then your oracle card says adult children. So that's so funny because at the beginning of the reading is the Page of Cups, and I kind of interpret this as a child, someone you love, and maybe your children are adults now, but that could still apply. So somehow your children, you know, if you have children, they're going to kind of assist you in whatever it is you're going through at present, Libra. And if you don't, I would say that perhaps you have like nieces or nephews or family, or, you know, your teacher or something. But anyway, so the healing and the message is going to come through children. And yeah, that's what's coming through here. Next up is earth signs. So I'm going to do Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. So we'll start with Capricorn. And I like to say at the beginning of each reading that, you know, this is just a general reading for the present energies, current energies. You know, keep what resonates and discard what doesn't, because, you know, even though, you know, I'm reading the cards, it's really your own intuition that's going to really guide you at the end of the day. So, you know, this is a general reading. So, you know, if it doesn't resonate with you, it's for someone else, and that's okay. And then what does was meant for you. So let's start. Let's see. Okay, we have the Seven of Cups, Capricorn. The Wheel of Fortune, I like it already. Five of Coins. 10 of Cups, great card. And then the Two of Wands. And then the bottom of the deck energy is the Knight of Coins. So Seven of Cups. So currently you're being, you have a lot of options open to you, and you're kind of considering what to kind of invest your energy into. So you have a lot of options here according to this card. And I would say, you know, the advice for this is just to go into yourself, find out what you truly want, and let yourself answer the what should I do kind of the Seven of Cups, and which opportunity is best for me. You know, I would go ask yourself, you know, go into yourself and ask yourself. And I would say Capricorns are a pretty intuitive sign. You know, well, especially your gut, you know, your gut's kind of never wrong, from my experience. So really, like, you have a lot of opportunities and you're kind of deciding which one to go with. I would say just to sit with yourself and ask yourself and see what comes up for you. Because that's going to be your best guide right now. And this can be love, relationship, a career change. Yeah, this kind of applies to everything, but cups typically represent emotions and love. So maybe you have multiple suitors in your love life right now. So yeah, and I would say definitely that, you know, make sure they check off all your boxes, or at least 80% of the boxes, you know, and the other 20% you can kind of deal with, you know, or that's not a deal breaker. But yeah, just sit with yourself, quiet yourself, and then see what comes to you. And I would say go from that. The next card we have in your reading is the Wheel of Fortune, which implies fortune. It's good luck. So luck is on your side. So whatever you decide, whatever path you choose is kind of going to be as if the universe kind of handed it to you on a silver platter. The Wheel of Fortune is a really good card when you're kind of confused about which road to take. It kind of basically is saying, like, you know, you spin the wheel of life, and then it's like whatever path you're led to is the one you're supposed to be. And listen, we all have different choices every day, you know, and it's like one choice leads to this path, one choice leads to that path, but none of them are wrong. You know, if they were, they wouldn't have been a choice for us at all, I believe. So yeah, you have the Wheel of Fortune supporting, a decision-making time for you, but whatever choice you make ultimately is going to be the right path. So don't think about it too hard, essentially, you know, just kind of go with your gut. Yeah, I would say go with your gut. So the Five of Coins implies a loss, financial loss, or the loss of some kind of stability. And there's kind of like sadness attached to it a bit. You're kind of out in the cold right now and feel like maybe you feel lost or something, or maybe you lost your job, or your husband or spouse lost his or her job, and you're kind of just feeling a loss financially. But again, these are only present energy, current energy reads for the present moment. It's not forever. You will overcome this, okay? But you just got to push through a little bit through the loss here. And then the next card is the Ten of Cups. So whatever, what goes down always goes up, right? So the loss is going to lead to something even greater than this, whether it be a relationship, a job, maybe you had a financial loss in the market, But the Ten of Cups next to this card implies that it doesn't even, the Five of Pentacles doesn't even matter, because the Ten of Cups is the ultimate happiness card. So whatever this is, you're going through temporarily, is going to lead to greater happiness. And again, whether it's in a relationship, a new job, whatever the situation is, you'll know better, however this resonates to you. But yeah, this is an excellent card. It's, again, I'm going to sound like a broken record, but it's one of my favorite cards. It's the happiness, the total package, of anything, a relationship, a job, just pure happiness. So good for you, Capricorn. And then the card next to that is the Two of Wands. So there's, again, with the Seven of Cups, there's still a little bit of what should I do here in the reading. And that's okay, because sometimes important life decisions take time. We can't just impulsively say, this is what I'm going to do, this is what I want, because what we want changes, right? Based on our thoughts, our emotions. So I would say, and I'm going to read the last card now, because it kind of implies the Knight of Pentacles, kind of implies exactly what I was saying at the beginning of the reading with the Seven of Cups and the Wheel of Fortune. The Knight of Pentacles implies is a message to take your time. Don't rush into anything, you know, feel it out, think it out. Because I mean, there are no wrong choice decisions here, because the Ten of Cups is here backing you up. So just, I would say, take your time. The Knight of Pentacles is taking your time card. So there's no rush. If it were Knight of Wands, that'd be impulsive choices, but it's the Knight of Pentacles, and Capricorn is an earth sign. Pentacles represent earth. So just be your Capricorn self and just slowly process everything and choose carefully. And I know you will, because it's innate in your nature as an earth sign. Okay, so your oracle card is, let me see if it'll ever turn over, hobbies. Okay, so this kind of fits in a little bit. Maybe a hobby will bring you happiness during your grief, during your period of grief, or, you know, whatever you're kind of going through right now that's less than desirable. I would say lean into your hobbies, things that you love doing. It could be knitting, it could be yoga, it could be meditation, it could be painting, it could be writing. So I feel like what's going to get you through all of this is just to lean into your hobbies and doing what you love, essentially. So that's the message for you during this time frame, whenever you're listening to this message. Moving on to Taurus. Hi, Taurus. This is going to be your present your current energies reading for whatever time you're finding this video. And I always like to say to keep what resonates and discard what doesn't. This is a general read, so a lot of people are going to be hearing this. Some things may be for you, some things may not be for you, and never ever force a reading to fit somehow if it doesn't. You know, you don't want to do that, because then you won't be hearing the message that was intended for you. So we're going to start with current energies. So first, to start off, we have the Fool card. Second is the Page of Wands. Middle of the read card is the Ten of Wands. Then we have the Hangman and the Six of Coins, and the bottom of the deck energy is the Queen of Swords. Okay, Taurus, so it looks as though with the Fool card, you are starting something new. You're being bold and taking a step. It's kind of like being blindfolded and just following, you know, whatever a trusted guide is telling you, whatever your gut is telling you. This is a new start, a new beginning, and it's a risk you're taking. And sometimes risks aren't all bad. It's like, you know, you could be taking a risk in love, or your job, your career. Maybe you're getting offered something that you're not really familiar with, and you're just taking a leap of faith and starting it. And the Fool is a pretty successful card. So whatever leap you're thinking of taking, I would say it'll be successful. Yeah. So this is a new you're starting something new that you're unfamiliar with, and it'll be okay to take the leap, you know. So do it. The second card we have is the Page of Wands. Again, so I explained this in another reading, but so a page is essentially a messenger, and the Page of Wands is kind of like a fun card. Wands are fire signs, so if you're dealing with a fire sign, this would make sense, especially a younger fire sign, whether it be a partner, a child, you know, a coworker. But this is a happy message coming to you. So something about taking this risk is going to lead to, you know, something happier for you. I see. I see something happier on the other side of this kind of risk that you'll be taking. And it's really, and I was feeling from the Fool card, this is something that you should definitely, you know, take the risk on and take the chance and do it. And it's going to lead to some kind of happy message from someone or something. Yeah, happy messages coming in. So the middle of the deck energy is the Ten of Wands. Now the Ten of Wands is a highly stressed card. So if you're feeling stressed, if you're feeling burdened by the world or your life or what have you, I would advise you to make time for self-care. You know, try to slow down where you can. If you have a meditation practice, I would definitely say that it's a good time to kind of dive into that. Whatever relaxes you, whether it be a massage or a bath, a bubble bath with candles, something that you can kind of exhale to. You know, I'm feeling like there's a lot of pent up kind of anxiety for you. And despite being an earth sign, I find that, you know, Taurus is, especially the ones that I know, can really suffer from anxiety, I would say. So yeah, the 10 of Wands implies that you're just heavily burdened. So try to pause where you can, try to write a list out of what's important to do, what's not important, you know, and kind of negate the not important. And that should bring you some relief. So that's the advice I'm giving with this card of the, you know, essentially the 10 of Wands, which is the burden. And then we have the Hangman. So this is Pisces. So this is water. You're currently in a flux about something, you know, whether it be what should you do about the burden you're feeling in your life, the heaviness of your life right now. You know, so this is also the card of indecision. You may be confused, but I would say through through whatever practices you're going to prescribe to kind of lighten your load in life, I would say the Hanged Man will turn into a sure decision. Like you'll be better able to decide once you've kind of circumcised your life and gotten rid of the heavy burdens you may be experiencing, whether that be people, a job, whatever's bogging you down. Try to, I would say, step away from it for the time being. It doesn't have to be permanent, but you'll be able to see more clearly and be able to better decide after you've kind of stepped away for a little bit. And that's not always a bad thing, you know, like stepping away from situations or people who kind of bring us down is a good thing. You know, it's a form of self-love and self-care, I believe. And you know, if somebody is really, or something is really bogging you down, kind of try to navigate and free up some of your time, whether it be energy, mental space, whatever it is. Yeah, just, you know, I would say this is kind of is more going in the direction of self-care and self-love for yourself right now. You know, have compassion on yourself. You know, if you would advise another person to take care of themselves, try to follow your own advice in this instance. And then when you do, you'll get to the Six of Pentacles, which is a very grounded card. It's also a successful card. It's balance. So you'll get back to your balance. Okay, so we have a risk, we have good news, then we have burden, indecision, and then finally you'll arrive at a more balanced state of mind. If you kind of, again, alleviate those things in your life that don't really behoove you, like aren't good for your higher self, and once you get rid of those, you'll again find balance. So the Six of Pentacles is a balance card, and then the bottom of the deck energy is the Queen of Swords. So this applies to male or female. I know that the cards kind of are gender specific, but this could apply to anybody. You know, you could be a male or female. This applies to. So I would say at the end of this journey, this little current thing that you're going through, you're going to be so sharp. You're going to come out so clear-minded and sure of yourself. You're going to be sure of the direction you want to take. This is clarity. This is basically the clarity card. So throughout this journey, you know, it'll be a little rough with the 10 of Wands. You'll feel, I'm sure you do feel heavy, like you might feel heavy for the time being, but the outcome is going to be clarity, which I can see how these cards would all kind of end up here. And that's life sometimes, right? You know, we have to kind of go through, you know, awareness and wisdom isn't given. It's kind of something, it's a journey, you know, it's like you have to, in love, I can use this example, you kind of have to go through what you don't want in your past partners to kind of discover what you do want. And I see that that's how this reading is going. In the end of, you know, at the end of this cycle or whatever's going on for you, you will have clarity, and you will be sharp and have better direction, you know. So just just make sure to lighten your load if you're feeling heavy or bogged down. I would say that's the main message here, Taurus. But, you know, again, you have a lot of positive, you know, forward moving cards. So just stay the course. And yeah. Oh, and look, speaking of staying the course and positive energy, this is windfall. So we know that Taurus is rules like material things, material world, money, self-worth, you know, things like that. So a windfall. So it goes along with what I'm saying here, that if you stay the course, if you lighten your load, if you kind of get to a state of clarity, there will be a windfall, something prosperous for you, whether it be money, new love, clarity, even, you know, groundedness. So this is really a great card. I love this for you, Taurus. So yeah, good luck, and just stay the course. You know what to do. Hello, Virgo. Welcome to your reading. This is a read for current and present energies. I always say this kind of disclaimer at the beginning of reading for anyone, any reading. You know, tarot is only meant to be a guide, and if it doesn't resonate with you, don't force yourself to have it resonate. You know, there's going to be some things perhaps that do resonate. Keep them. For anything that doesn't, just disregard them. So let's get you started on current and present energies. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read the spread, and then I have an oracle put aside for you. So let's begin with that, Virgo. Okay, first card is 8 of Cups. Second card is 5 of Wands. Middle of the spread energy is the Knight of Wands. The next card is the Devil. The last card is the Tower of this spread, and then I always, read bottom of the deck energy. So bottom of the deck energy is 2 of Cups. What I'm seeing here, Virgo, is there's an emotional disconnect, or you're walking away from something with this 8 of Cups. So Virgo is an earth sign. It's not really known for its emotional nature. You know, it's kind of something Virgo has to like kind of cultivate a bit, I would say. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, because you know, you're so grounded and logical and mercurial. You know, we need your mind. We need Virgo in the world for a lot of things. So I would say, like, emotionally, you're kind of bereft or walking away from something, or feeling detached from it. And this could be anything. This could be a job. It could be a relationship. It could be anything, really. So you're kind of walking away from something, making your way towards the 10 of Cups, by the way, which is the ultimate happiness card. So maybe this is like, for example, at present, like you could be unhappy in a relationship or a job, and you're walking away and you're like, this isn't good enough for me. I'm looking for total 100% happiness. And that's kind of like the 8 of Cups. A lot of people say, you know, it's kind of like, it seems like a negative card, but not for me. I don't read it that way. I read it as, you know, you're leaving something that's kind of mediocre and not completely what you were looking for, whether it be, again, a job or a person, or just kind of any situation in life, I would say. So, you know, and again, this is current energy. So we'll see what else we have going on here. So there's 5 of Wands. So there's some kind of battle going on inside of you at present, which could ultimately lead to being detached emotionally. Like you're so focused on something that you're wrestling with that you kind of are in your head a little bit, I'd say, which would again validate the 8 of Cups. So you're not really in your emotions right now. You're more like in your head, and you're fired up about something. So something has you fired up, and there's like an inner battle going on. So what I like to say about this, and I'm going to give this advice whenever I see a battle card, is to kind of, I am a seasoned meditator, and I find that, and I'm also a fire sign, which wands are fire. I would say if you can try to like carve out some time, it doesn't have to be forever. I would just say right now at present, whatever you're going through, just try to sit with yourself, close your eyes for a little bit, let the thoughts pass, you know, and then really ground down into yourself. You are an earth sign after all, so you're better at that than any of us are. and just kind of like get out of your head for a little bit and just go into your body and really like try to listen to what your innards are telling you. And then if nothing else, at least you'll feel more grounded and out of the kind of conflict that's going on within you. Or this could be a conflict with another person as well, you know. So you really just want to try to like ground yourself as much as you can. Even, and that's even a good practice, you know, like when we come against adversity, whether it be our coworker or our friends or our partner, it's always good to kind of practice the great pause before responding. And I think that's the advice that this card is kind of giving you, is just to practice the great pause and try to go off somewhere, meditate if you can, just kind of calm your mind, get out of your head for a little bit. So again, we have another fiery card. So you're really fired up, Virgo. The Knight of Wands. So this really, it's not a king, so you're kind of dealing with a little bit of a immature energy. This could be you, it could be somebody you're dealing with. These cards are not gender specific. It could be a female, it could be a male you're kind of doing battle with. But I would say, like, you know, the Knight of Wands is, again, an immature energy. So, you know, I'm feeling like this card is calling you to be the mature one, to be the taking the high road person in whatever conflict is going on. You know, this Knight of Wands is just looking for trouble. It's looking to stir you up. It's a fire sign. It's, you know, it represents Sagittarius, so maybe you're dealing with a Sag. Either way, I think the advice here is to just kind of turn the other cheek, be the bigger person, go into find a space where you can kind of calm yourself, so you find yourself responding rather than reacting, which is always the way, you know, it's the higher way. All the great teachers kind of taught that in their own way, I think. So yeah, and just realize that immature people sometimes are the universe's tools to kind of test our patience and test our level of how far we've grown. And if I turn everything into a lesson, so that might be good advice for you. Maybe you like that advice and you kind of are inspired by that, and this is how you want to handle this particular situation. So then we have the Devil. The Devil implies, again, an attachment, an unhealthy attachment. It doesn't have to be, you know, it's not that you're an evil person. That's not what the Devil means. The Devil means that there are attachments or certain obsessions that you may have and that are not healthy for you. So whether it be a person, you know, alcohol, obsessively overthinking, it's time to break that chain. It's time to get healthy. And the Devil card in this spread here is just a reminder that the Devil attachments and unhealthy attachments, whether it be whatever I just listed or something else I've forgotten to mention, this is a message to start getting healthy. Okay, whatever it is, you know, listen, we all have attachments. It could be like an addiction to sweets. It could be an addiction to alcohol. It could be addiction to drugs. It could be an addiction or attachment to anything. We all have them. We're all human by nature. We come in with attachments. And the journey is all about realizing that what we are is enough, that we don't need anything outside of us to kind of fulfill us. All we need is ourselves, our higher selves, and that's all the nourishment we really need. So yeah, this is just a call to break free of any unhealthy attachments, and the Eight of Cups in the beginning of the reading kind of sort of implies you're starting that. So now you probably see what your attachment is, your unhealthy attachment, and then you're trying to walk away from it, but it's a battle, it's a struggle, right? It's a struggle. Five of Wands, Knight of Wands. And you could be a younger person too. Again, these cards are not gender specific. So you could be, maybe you're even like a teenager or in your early 20s, you know, you're having some sort of battle. And then that would lead us to the Tower moment. Now, the Tower card is more times than not frowned upon because it means that things are falling apart. But actually, I find that it's kind of a blessing in disguise because it reminds me of the Death card, where transformation and change can only take place once we've had a Tower moment. You know, when everything comes crashing down, and I can we can even use the reference of relationships, you know, when we think, we swear we found the right person, the perfect person for us, and they end up cheating on us or something, or breaking up with us when things were going good and we weren't expecting it. But then that tragedy kind of leads to, you know, some people find their life partner, some people find their soulmate, you know, but they wouldn't have found that without the crashing down tower moment. You know, in my own life, I can say that a terrible heartbreak is what brought me to tarot, and then you know, wanting to share it and help others the way it's helped me. So that this kind of tower moment is what led me to being able to do these kind of readings for you guys. And then the bottom of the deck energy. Okay, so we were talking about relationships. I assume that this is going to be a relationship reading because you got the Two of Cups, which is the soulmate card. If there is someone in your life that is not good for you, I would say, that you feel like you're attached to, you just can't break away from, the advice here is to let it burn, let it crash down, because the Two of Cups is coming. Your person is coming. Your person is coming. And there's no clearer message or card that could have come out than the Two of Cups. Yeah, so allow the tower to happen, allow it to crash and burn. Don't be afraid. You know, that's kind of what life is about, really, honestly, is transcending fear, because that's a commonality that we all share as human beings. And it is not of, it's not of the higher self, it's the lower self. And that could be what the devil is too, you know, like fear holding you down to kind of like the earthly plane, but it's also blocking your soulmate from coming in. And again, it's not gender specific, so this could be male or female if you're hearing this. So yeah, I mean, yeah, so happiness is coming, but don't be afraid to let it all crash and burn. Don't be afraid to say, you know what, let the chips fall where they may. That's how I see this card for you in this reading. And then we have an oracle card for you. Oh, you are stronger than you know. How perfect. So, you know, I know a lot of Virgos. My grandmother was a Virgo. She raised me. I find that Virgos kind of have a natural insecurity around being perfect and being the perfect person, doing everything perfectly, you know, saying everything perfectly, thinking of everything perfect. That is way too much pressure, and it's unrealistic. What I like to describe perfect as is trying your best and nothing less. I mean, if you're trying your best and you're giving your all at something, what more can you do if it does, you know, things don't work out? You did your best. And to me, that's the right definition of perfection. So, and that's a journey that all Virgos kind of share in common, where you have to learn what is perfection, you know, and what am I capable of? Am I capable of meeting that bar that I'm setting for myself, you know, which is most times unrealistic. No offense, Virgo. I love you guys, but you know, that's the advice for you. And yeah, I hope this resonated with you. Moving on to fire signs. Hello, Aries, my fellow fire sign persons. I'm an Aries sun myself. I actually have Aries in my sun, Sag in my moon, and Leo in my rising. So I'm triple fire. So these readings will be super interesting. You know, I may or may not be able to resonate with them as well. But yeah, so it's good to share with my fellow sun sign Aries people. And I just want to say that, you know, this is a collective reading for the present current energies. And in all readings, I like to say, you know, never force a reading to fit your life. You know, if it resonates, that's great. If it doesn't, that's fine too. So keep what resonates and discard what doesn't. And don't be afraid to discard what doesn't. You know, it doesn't mean that the reading isn't for you, but I'm sure some part of this reading will resonate, just maybe not all of it. And don't be worried if it doesn't, because it just means it's for someone else. Okay, Aries, let's get started. For Aries, we have, I'm using a new tarot deck. So the Muse of Inspiration. So this is the Two of Wands. Then we have the Queen of Wands. Then we have the Nine of Wands. All fire so far. Oh, the Eight of Wands. And the Justice card. And then bottom of the deck energy is the Priestess. So, fellow fire sign, we are fired up about something currently. So the Two of Wands implies two paths. We're kind of in the fork in the road, you know, looking at two paths before us, and this absolutely applies. It could be people, it could be a job opportunity, it could be offers, anything, you know, anything that you're being offered or anything that's being presented to you in the present moment. But either way, it's a choice. You have a choice to make before you. And because it's fire, I would say it's something you're passionate about. So if that's relationships, if that's your jobs, you might have two suitors trying to court you at the moment. And again, you know, my readings aren't gender specific, so it could be male or female. Take it as it fits and resonates. So there's some kind of fork in the road you're facing right now. And a decision doesn't have to be made, because as fire signs, we tend to be impulsive. I would just say, see the choice before you and sit with it for a little while. You know, don't kind of impulsively, like we're known to do, make a choice. You know, wait it out, ride it out. I know that's hard for us. Patient is not our virtue, but it can be cultivated. So I would say just see the choices before you and sit with them for a little while. Then we have the Queen of Wands. So this means that whoever has their eye on you thinks you are the bomb.com. So it's a very, you must be, whoever this is, they're, or both, you know, they're very, very, very attracted to you. You're very attractive. You're very alluring. The Queen of Wands is Leo. So, you know, we all know Leos. We all love Leos. And they're like, you can't help but notice a Leo, like when they walk by, but you don't have to be a Leo to get this card. You know, you can be just somebody who is a stunner, you know, like you got it going on basically. And good for you, you know, good for you. This is the high confidence card as well. So I feel like whatever you're kind of projecting is what's attracting people to you so much, you know, if it is a suitor. Also, it could be like maybe you're going on a job interview, maybe you're interviewing for a job and you're concerned that, you know, you're like, are they going to pick me? Are they going to pick me? Well, I can't say for sure, but you certainly stand out with this card. Okay, so whether it be a relationship, a career, you certainly are standing out, which is a great sign for you. So good job. Good job, Aries. Okay, so we have the Nine of Inspiration. Again, the Nine of Wands, a fire sign, which we tend to be impulsive, Aries folks. So at the beginning, I advised to just see the two paths before you. The Nine of Wands, you're going to feel inclined to kind of want to impulsively jump into something, but I say it's always best to do the opposite. Like that's one of my Buddhist trainings, is to do the opposite of what you want to do, like your knee-jerk reaction. Just do the opposite if you can, Aries. I know it's impossible sometimes, but this is the advice for this now. And then so again, we have next to that, I don't think you're going to listen, but that's okay. So we have the Eight of Wands, which is another you just want to impulsively dive into something. This is also the card of talking. So maybe you'll want to, you know, whoever this is trying to court you. If this is a relationship reading, or which employer is trying to bait you, you know, to get you on their team, you're going to want to jump right in. But I would give caution and just say, you know, kind of sit with yourself. Try not to act impulsively. I always talk about like the great pause before making any decisions, especially, you know, and I would consider relationships and job decisions important. So try to just not react right away and sit with yourself for a time and just really kind of fill out both paths. Like try to envision, you know, one path and then the future and then the other path and that future, whether it be a job or relationship or, yeah. But I do see this mostly as a relationship reading because of all the fire signs that are involved. And then we have Justice, which is Libra, which is relationships. So I'm not far off here. So justice is coming, like something fair and balanced, and just you're gonna get your due, like whatever you deserve, whatever you've been working hard towards, whether it be a relationship, you're working on yourself for a relationship, you've been working on yourself professionally, justice will be served. This is a great ending to this reading. So this kind of tells me that whatever you're going to decide to do will be the right path. And I can't tell you what to do. You'll know what to do. I would just caution you to just pause a bit and just think if you can, which is very hard for us. But yeah, like whenever I'm in a flux or, you know, given the choice between two things, I always like say, well, if I choose this path, and then I try to like see it in my future, how it works out and benefits me. And then same with the other path. So I would advise you to do that. Again, I know it's hard, but you can do it. We can do it. And then when we do, the bottom of the deck energy is the High Priestess. You will have cultivated so much wisdom that it's almost like out of this world. The High Priestess is very intuitive, which I believe fire signs are. We're very intuitive people. Again, it's just a matter of honing in on, reeling in our impulses, right? So once we do that, it's kind of like a form of self-mastery. We can then become the High Priestess energy, which is wisdom, clarity, intuition. It's also like if you're going to be in a relationship, your person's not going to find a better partner. Or if you're going for a job interview, you know, your boss isn't going to find a better employee. So this is like the ultimate it card, I would say. But only once we're kind of like reel in our impulses. Yeah, but you know, this is if I could summarize this whole reading, it's success. So whatever you decide to do, whatever path you decide to take, it will be successful. I believe that in general, you know, there's no wrong paths, there's no wrong decisions, only like kind of detours a little bit. But then a detour always leads us back on track, right? To the right path. Okay, so, and if you're looking for a yes or no, I would say the answer is a hell yes. It's not just yes, it's a hell yes with all these wands. Okay, so I pulled an oracle card for you guys, and look, here we are, decisions. Decisions. And what did we say with the Two of Wands? Decisions, a decision to be made. But you know, again, I'm just going to read these cards how they read. There really is no wrong decision here. So all paths lead to success. Whichever path you take, again, whether it be a relationship, a person, a job. Yeah. So this is a great reading. Good for you guys. I'm happy. I'm very happy. Good for you. I think thus far out of all the readings, it's probably like the most positive one I've seen. Yeah, consistently positive one I've seen of all the elements. Hello, Leo. Hi. Welcome to your reading. This is for current and present energies at the time you're finding this video. I always say this in the beginning of my readings that, you know, whenever I'm reading or, you know, reading anything, if something doesn't resonate with you, try not to force it. You know, this is a general read. Many people will be listening to this reading. You know, take the parts that resonate and leave the parts that don't, you know, because if you try to force something on yourself, you might miss the parts that are meant for you. Okay, so never try to force anything. My word is not gospel. You go by your own intuition. And again, if it feels right, it is right. If it feels wrong, it's wrong. Okay. All right, let's get started, Leo. Three of Cups. Four of Swords. The Moon. Eight of Cups. Page of Swords. And the Six of Pentacles. Okay, Leo, so what I see here is there's some kind of something you're celebrating. The Three of Cups, it could be like you're going out with girlfriends, and you're going out to like have a drink, you're celebrating some kind of victory in your life, which calls for celebration. This could mean like maybe you got a promotion at work, or you met somebody that you kind of gel with. So anything that's kind of like celebratory. So I would say like, you know, a job, some kind of personal achievement, and celebrating with a group. You know, Three of Cups is coming together with friends. So this is like the friendship card. It's also can be tied to happiness, you know, celebrating something. So that's a good start to your reading. Then we have the Four of Swords. So the Four of Swords implies that whatever it is you're celebrating, you kind of want to keep to yourself. You're not really talking about it. And sometimes that's a good thing, you know, because there's a saying that, you know, if you want to keep something, like, it's better not to say, it's better to do things in private than to say, you know, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm going here, I'm going here, I'm going here, because there's a lot of kind of negative energy that can come back on that and kind of sabotage it. So going silent over something celebratory is not always, and I know it's very hard for a Leo because you're so expressive and you're so happy most of the time and you just want to tell everybody, but maybe you're feeling more withdrawn during this time frame, and that's okay. So don't feel like you're not being true to your nature with this, you know, you want to celebrate and tell everybody. Sometimes it's a good thing to kind of keep things to ourselves. And I find that whether it be, you know, something wonderful we found, some kind of teaching that we want to practice, a partner, you know, you really don't want to share that with everybody right away. I would say, and remember, this is current and present energy. So sometimes you just want to keep it to yourself and have it for your own enjoyment. And then you'll be ready to tell the world. It's kind of like getting pregnant. Women wait till the first trimester to announce their pregnancy because they don't want anything to happen to the baby. You know, it's such an amazing miracle that they just want to keep it so sacred and safe. So I find that whatever you're celebrating, again, whether it be a job promotion, a relationship, a practice that you found, something that makes you really happy, and you just don't want to share it with the world yet, that's okay. You have permission to do so. In fact, I would encourage everyone really to kind of keep those things private and personal between you and the universe or God, whichever you call it, the higher self, to yourself for a little bit, so that way it can marinate in you, and then it becomes stronger and stronger, and then when you're ready to tell the world, like, nothing could come up against it. You know, it's so strong. Yeah, and that's when I kind of want to encourage you. So if you're feeling more silent and kind of opposite of the way you naturally feel, that's not always a bad thing, and I would encourage it. So then we have the moon here. The moon is kind of like you're kind of confused about something. Like, there's all elements that you're not really seeing of something. It's kind of like you're blinded in some way, but clarity will come. You know, again, this is only temporary. It's kind of like something is hidden from yourself. Whereas, for example, if you're a naturally intuitive person, you know, you might be blocked this time, and that's okay, you know, because you have to have non-clarity to have clarity, right? So something is confusing you, or you're not seeing clearly right now, but I would say that's okay. You know, let things pass, let some time go by, and you will have clarity again. The moon card also is also representative of a cycle ending. Some cycles ended. So whereas maybe you were more vocal to start and you're going into that silent mode, you might really like this silent mode and keeping things to yourself, which would end a cycle of maybe being extroverted, you know, like Leos naturally are. And maybe you just want to keep things, you've discovered that by keeping things to yourself, it benefits you in so many ways. You know, this could be that. So that's not always, you might not always be confused about that, but some cycle has definitely ended for you. And I love cycle endings. I love the Tower card. I love the Death card. Anything that's has to do with transformation or growth is always a benefit to us. So don't be afraid to kind of develop or adopt a different mindset, you know, because it's not always bad. And I actually see it benefiting you. Then we have the Eight of Cups. So the Eight of Cups implies that you're walking away, or you have walked away from something that wasn't completely fulfilling. So the Ten of Cups is the completely fulfilled happiness card. So this card has double meanings. It could mean like you're detaching yourself from something. It could be love because it's cups and emotions, or it could be that you just said, I'm tired of settling for the Eight of Cups. I want to go towards the Ten of Cups. I want to go towards complete happiness and fulfillment. And you wouldn't be wrong in doing so. This would actually be a service to yourself, I find. And again, this could be anything. This could be a job that feels unfulfilling. It could be, you know, you're happy with something, but you know it could be better. So you're kind of leaving where it's at now, and then kind of evolving or going towards the Ten of Cups. So maximizing your happiness, I would say this is, and kind of like leaving, you know, everybody always rates things a 1 to 10. Is it a 1 or is it a 10? You know, and you're like, it's an 8, but it could be better. I'm going for the 10 of Cups. So you're continuing the journey on to further your happiness in a sense. And then the other side of this meaning is detached. You know, you're kind of blocked off emotionally, but I'm not feeling this for Leo. Leos are too loving, you know, to be detached emotionally. I would say Leo rules the heart. So I'm interpreting this as you're not, you know, you see further happiness down the line and you're walking towards it. That's how I see this card for you, Leo. And then we have the Page of Swords, which is also another kind of going into a cocoon, like silence mode, you know, not really sharing. And, you know, the point of all of these silence cards is to kind of benefit you. Like, again, Leo is so gregarious and loves to talk and loves to greet people and loves to, you know, just be extroverted. But I'm finding that these energies are kind of saying that you're kind of going into a more quieter, inward kind of energy for this time. And it's not a negative thing for you guys, because the last card is the 6 of Pentacles, which implies balance. So this all makes sense, you know. The 4 of Swords and the Page of Swords, kind of keeping quiet to rebalance yourself, which is the 6 of Pentacles. And I love this card. I love balance. I'm a big fan of balance. I'm sure many of you are as well. But yeah, so kind of going inward and not sharing as much is kind of going to lead to balance. And, you know, some people do that. I was Buddhist for many years, and I would actually walk around with a pin that said "in silence," because sometimes when we're talking too much, we can really like exert a lot of our energy, and then we end up being depleted. But I find that when I'm silent, I build up so much energy, and it's kind of like a refreshing time for me, especially when something good has happened. You know, you want to keep things sacred. Again, like the analogy of the woman in her first trimester, women in their first trimester, you kind of just want to keep it to yourself because it's so yummy and delicious and sacred. Okay, and then I pulled an oracle card for you guys, and yours is End of an Era. So this would coincide with the moon. So some cycle for you is ending. And that's okay, you know, not all endings are bad. You know, you need endings to have beginnings. I would say whatever you are feeling called to, whichever cycle you are being called to put an end to, or kind of maybe just even look at, maybe try to analyze, like, is this benefiting me or is this not benefiting me? I would say that's the kind of choice you're going to make during this time, and that can only be done by trial and error. So, you know, if you're typically a gregarious Leo, which Leos usually are, maybe try going silent for a little bit and see how that makes you feel, and then make a determination about how you want to share, like, your love life, how you want to share, like, you know, your successes in life. And, you know, like, if I can say this about Leos, like, you guys are so like happy and successful that you kind of can breed jealousy from others, you know. So maybe you're experiencing that and you just decided, you know what, I'm tired of dealing with this. I don't like this energy. I just want to be silent about anything good that happens to me. And you wouldn't be wrong, you know, that's kind of a protection of sorts. And I'm all for it, you know. Hello, Sagittarius. This is your present energy reading for this, whenever you're finding this video. I like to say as a disclaimer before I begin any reading, please don't take whatever doesn't feel authentic to you. Don't force anything, you know, whatever resonates, keep, whatever doesn't, don't. This is a general read, so whatever you're hearing could be for a large amount of people, and it may not resonate for you, but it does for someone else. So never force anything that doesn't resonate with you, basically. You know, you always want to be authentic. And as a Sagittarius, I don't think you'll have any problems doing that. Okay, so let's see. Starting off the reading, we have the Fool. We have the 2 of Swords. We have the 6 of Cups. We have the Hermit. We have the Ace of Wands. And then we have Awakening. Okay, so starting this off, this is risk taker energy, which is totally Sagittarius energy. So you're taking a risk in some area of your life, whether it be, you know, starting a job or taking a chance on a relationship. Maybe you have a long distance relationship and you're willing to fly to the person or have them fly here to meet for the first time. You know, you're doing something outside of your comfort zone. But Sag is a pretty risk taker energy anyway. We're very, you know, like it's like the Evel Knievels of the zodiac, I like to say. And if for all of you who don't know who Evel Knievel is, I would suggest you Google that person. He was a daredevil on a motorbike. So sometime you're taking some kind of a risk during this time, and yeah, it's a total Sag energy, I'd say. So moving along, we're at the Two of Swords. So there's, along with this risk taker energy, there's a choice you have to make. Some things coming up, whether it be job related, relationship related, you know, a decision for yourself in your own life in your own way. But you're currently you're kind of stuck and you're in a fog. You don't really know what to do. And I'm going to say this is about a relationship because the next card is the Six of Cups. So the Six of Cups is soulmate energy, and like past life relationships and all of that. So this could be that you're either going back to something or you're starting something new. And this person is a soulmate. And it may even for Sag, it might be halting a little bit, you know, like if you ever felt fear, maybe like with the Two of Swords, like it's like you're hesitant about this relationship. And I'm going to say it's a relationship because it's the Six of Cups. I said that already, but I want to just reiterate that. Okay, so we have this here, and then we have the Hermit. So the Hermit is indicative of kind of like, again, like Leo, total opposite of Sag energy, like just going within and kind of, you know, the Hermit goes into a cave and he comes out with like this grand wisdom. So if you're confused about something, which the cards are implying in regards to a person, the Six of Cups, I would say try taking some time, you know, don't go out and explore and be an adventurer like typical Sag energy. And again, this is just for the current energy. So the advice here is just try going inwardly a little bit. Try staying home rather than going out. Try like meditation if you have a meditation practice. If you don't, I would greatly advise you try to establish one. You know, even if it's just 5 minutes a day, 1 minute is fine. You know, you have to build up to it. It's not, you know, you're not just going to sit and magically do it and you'll have results. It's something that has to be cultivated. And for Sag, fiery energy, you know, sitting still. My moon is in Sagittarius, and I know for me, meditation for me is walking, like movement, you know, and I find and that's a form of meditation as well. You know, I do my best thinking when I'm walking. Yeah. So when I'm moving, you know, but not always sitting still works for you guys or for us. So yeah, I would this card is indicative of just take some time out. You see the guy like meditating under the tree, just being in nature, one with nature. That might be a good meditation for you, you know, like being in nature and just sitting there. But, you know, just, I would say contemplation, this card is indicative of contemplation for me. You know, don't jump to any decisions about this, but this person, I'm going to tell you, if this is a relationship, this person's going to feel really good and really familiar to you, and it's going to be hard to resist them. That's just a forewarning for anybody who resonates with this reading. And then we have the Ace of Wands. So the Ace of Wands, again, is an attraction card. You're going to be you're very attracted and passionate about whoever this is. Sexual attraction is most linked to the Ace of Wands. So, you know, and we kind of need that energy, you know, we need to be sexually, that's a part of chemistry, you know, being sexually attracted to our partners. And I know, you know, there's people out there that say physical attraction doesn't matter, but at the end of the day, it kind of does, you know, whether someone's mind makes them physically attractive, it doesn't have to be their looks, it can be just something about them, their energy, the way they think, the way they speak, you know, some sort of attraction has to be there to kind of keep it's kind of the glue that keeps people together. But yeah, so whoever this is, and if this is a job, it's something that you are deeply passionate about. And it's aces always represent new beginnings. So it could be a new relationship, a new job, a new endeavor. You know, we started off with the Fool. So it's going to be something that you're unfamiliar with. Maybe you've been dating like just people who are like not the one. Okay, let's say. So the Ace of Wands is indicative of finding the one, you know, going this journey, taking some time to, you know, walk or quiet yourself. And then the Ace of Wands will happen. So this is like the one card, finding the one. And then we have the Awakening card. So the Awakening card to me is indicative of some kind of epiphany, you know, like through all this, by taking the risk, which you're not afraid of, being confused, which is normal, you know, soulmate energy, like, and this could even be a friend, you know, this doesn't have to be relationship, you know, it doesn't have to be love relationship. You can meet someone, you know, like who's a part of your soul tribe. And I know that we all know what that is. I hope by now. I am certainly lucky enough to have a lot of friends in my vicinity that are my soul tribe. It necessarily wasn't my blood family, you know, it was others out there, you know, all over the world. So this could also be indicative of that. You know, take some time for yourself to really contemplate. And as I was saying in the Aries and Leo readings, fire signs are prone to impulsiveness. Patience is not our strong point. It has to be cultivated. So the Hermit energy will kind of allow for that. You know, it's kind of like going inward to find the answers and then coming back out in the world and kind of applying that wisdom that you've cultivated in your solitude. Ace of Wands, passionate, new beginning, and the Awakening card. So all of this is going to lead you to kind of like an epiphany moment where you're going to sit and say, it's like an Oprah will call it an aha moment. You know, something that maybe you were contemplating in this hermit mode, in the solitude, you're going to come out and say, I understand. Like if you were confused about anything, which is the Two of Swords is implying, you will at the end of this come out with clarity. So this is great. This whole reading is really, really, really positive. Happy for you, Sag. The advice is, changing your mind. So again, with the Confusion card, the Contemplative card, and the Epiphany card. So this could be like a change in your fixed thinking about something, you know, which is going to open you up to finding your soulmate, the person you're most passionate about. I love this reading, actually. This is wonderful. I love it. Yeah, this is great. This is really good. So happy for you, Sag. And again, this is, you know, keep what resonates, discard what doesn't. But these are just current and present moment energies. So again, take what resonated and discard what doesn't. Hello, Pisces. This is going to be your reading for current and present day energies and the current moment whenever you're finding this reading. I like to say at the beginning of all of my readings that this is a general read and many people will be listening to this reading. So take what resonates and kind of discard what doesn't. You never want to force a reading because then you're not getting the message that was intended for you during this reading if you do resonate with a part of it. So you never want to kind of force something to kind of fit your situation. And again, this is just for current and present energies. So we'll get started. I have a couple of cards pre-shuffled and then an oracle card I'll read at the end. And I've been finding, you know, I've done other readings up until this point that the oracle card is kind of like the cherry on top. Like it's just kind of like all fitting in, which is pretty amazing. All right, Pisces, let's get started. So the first card that pops up for you is the Knight of Wands. Then we have the Three of Wands. Ace of Cups, beautiful. The Queen of Cups, so beautiful. The Two of Swords. And then bottom of the deck energy is the Emperor. Okay, I just love this. So as a water sign, Pisces, I have a lot of Pisces in my alignment. We tend to be on the sensitive side. I think it's a beautiful thing. I think it's a strength. I love that about myself. I'll be honest with you. You know, but the task as Pisces is to kind of develop a harder, is not to be so sensitive to the point where we allow our feelings to get hurt, or you know, we take things personally. So there's a lot of fire energy in here. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And it's going to strengthen you so much during this present time. And my hope for you, Pisces, is that you hold on to this reading and you find inspiration from it and you draw strength from it during this present time. So the first card we have is the Knight of Wands. So the Knight of Wands is kind of like a Russian, and Russian, it takes what it wants. It's also an adventurous card. So maybe you're like feeling adventurous right now. You know, you're kind of like, I don't know, doing something outside of your comfort zone, doing something you kind of wouldn't think of doing, because this is wands are fire energy. So fire signs are more daring than water signs, which is Pisces. So right now you're in a mode of like, you're kind of in a daredevil energy. You're like, want to do adventure, you want to change things up, and this is good for you. I would encourage you to absolutely do. Like, if you're hemming and hawing over something, just do it. You know, like, you'll be better for it in the end, I promise. And you'll end up seeing like that you can actually, like, I think by doing the adventure thing that you kind of are thinking about, you will find that you can make decisions, like that you choose fun over anything else, you know, other than like music or writing or something, or poetry. And that's all great, you know, but there's got to be a little bit of adventure to add spice to life. So I really hope whatever this is, I encourage you to do it. Or if you're being offered, if somebody's asking you like to go out on a date and do something maybe you're not out of your comfort zone, I would encourage you to do it. And then the Three of Wands next. So this is exactly what this is saying. So the world, you're waiting on the precipice of an adventure, and it's here. It's here during this time. It's here. It's coming. You'll know whatever it is. I can't say specifically, but this card is encouraging you to do it. Like, you are ready for a new chapter or a new adventure, something new in your life, and you're just waiting for it. But it's here. It's come. It may be in the form, again, of an invitation. It might be in the form of, you know, like let's say you always wanted to like bungee jump, you know, and you just been holding yourself back. I would say now's the time to do it. Just go for it, you know, and you'll have the time of your life doing it. Get outside of your comfort zone. And then we have the Ace of Cups, which is a love card. So there's either, and it's new, aces are always new beginnings. So this could be, again, somebody asking you on a date to do something outside of your comfort zone. And I would say just go for it, you know, just find that inner adventure and go for it. You know, even taking a chance in love, it takes a lot of courage sometimes, you know, and Pisces, we tend to be hurt more easily, but this is saying just go for it, you know, just go for it. You know, we can't live our lives behind our pain, because if we do, we're just cutting ourselves off from joy and happiness, and other people who've hurt us, you know, they don't deserve that kind of control over us at some point, you know. So I'm going to say just go out and take a chance. If it's on love, do it. If it's a chance on some kind of adventure involving love, I would say at this time go for it, because it's going to be successful. And this is the ultimate love card. So the Ace of Cups doesn't get better than that when it comes to love. So this is really you know, encouraging you to kind of get out there. So then we have the Queen of Cups, which is Scorpio. So it's another, your fellow water sign. The Queen of Cups is, I feel like this card is representing your loving nature, your caring, sensitive, loving nature. You know, Pisces for me is the purest sign of the zodiac. You know, it's the most sensitive, which I again think is beautiful. I think Pisces people are beautiful. But this kind of resonates your worth to me. Like, don't forget how beautiful you are. You're the Queen of Cups, and again, these readings aren't gender specific. They apply to male and female, whichever one you identify with or resonate with. This is also a very feminine energy, so chances are more women are reading this. I'm gonna, go out on a hunch there and say that. But just this is to remind you how beautiful you are, how beautifully pure and sensitive, and your heart is so beautiful, Pisces. So just don't ever forget that, because you may be intimidated to take this chance on new love. And I would encourage you not to. I would encourage you to take the chance. All this fire energy is kind of supporting you during this time. And fire energy, let's be honest, it's fire is more successful than any other element, I find. Earth signs might be second, but fire, we're just go-getters. We see what we want, we get it. I would encourage you to kind of develop more of that mindset, and just remember how beautiful, and you are the prize. You're the prize, the Queen of Cups. You are the prize, because you have so much love to offer. And Pisces love is so spiritual and mystical. It's just, and Neptune is one of my favorite planets. So yeah, you guys got it going on in the most beautiful, pure way, and I just love my Pisces. Okay, so here we are. So at the end of all of this, the opportunity will be presented. New love will come. You'll realize, what you're worth, but you'll still be confused at the end of it. There'll still be some fear with the Two of Swords. And I would urge you, and I don't have to, so you're going to be faced with some indecision, and that's okay. Not everybody's clear all the time. Not everybody is psychic and just automatically knows what to do. I've heard that there's something called the law of confusion. In order for there to be clarity, there has to be confusion first, right? So that's what helped me reconcile it in myself, because I was almost afraid to make decisions at some point in my life. But then, as I grew old, I grew closer to my higher self. I became less and less fearful and just kind of did it. But Pisces are so demure, and, I could see Pisces as being more indecisive than any of the other signs. But listen, you're going to somehow find, here's the Emperor, okay? Fire energy, Aries energy, the assertive leadership energy you've kind of been looking for. So at the end of this, I feel, and I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that you are going to choose to just go for it. And I couldn't be more proud of you, Pisces. Do not hold yourself back from anything, especially if you know that it's going to make you happy. Take the leap, just do it. Don't worry about, everything that's going on in your mind. Just go for it. And this energy implies that you are going to it. You're going to harness Aries energy, which is the go-getter, the fearless one. And I couldn't be happier. So yeah, this reading kind of, typically in readings, I don't really see like too much of the outcome, but this, and I don't like to say that just in case, I never like to say that, but this implies that you are going to do it. And again, I'm very happy for you. I feel like Pisces' journey in life has become more courageous and take more leaps of faith. And this is a perfect opportunity for you and for growth. I say this a lot to my friends and whoever I talk to, that I feel like the purpose of us being in the earth plane is to grow and evolve our souls and our consciousness. So, Pisces are, you're kind of, that journey for you is to become more assertive, become more of a decision maker, become more, just have more belief in yourself and really feel confident in who you are, and look at your sensitivity as a strength and a weakness, because I think it's beautiful. And I think most people would agree with me on that. Most astrologers, I'd say. Okay, so let's look at your oracle card. Join in. How perfect. So the message to sum everything up is to say yes. Join in. Do what makes you happy. Don't hold back because of your fears. Don't hold back out of fear of being hurt. Not every time you take a chance, you're going to get hurt. That's just a fact. But join in. Don't hold back anymore, Pisces. Okay, this is beautiful. And again, it goes with the theme of all the readings thus far. I find that the oracle card is so perfect to the reading and the cards. I love this for you, Pisces. Good luck. Cancer, welcome to your reading. This is a present energy card pull, like for the current circumstances in your life or for whenever you're finding this video. And I always like to say this disclaimer in the beginning, you know, never force a reading. Keep what resonates and discard what doesn't. I find that if you try to force it, you're not really getting the full benefit of the message. This is a general read, so a lot of people are going to be listening, and it could be for them and not for you if you try to force it. So let's get you started, Cancer, and we'll go from there. Okay, so we're starting with the Devil. We have the Seven of Swords. We have the Eight of Pentacles, the Seven of Pentacles, the Lovers, and then bottom of the deck energy is the Two of Cups. Wow, Cancer. Wow. Okay, so let's start with the Devil. People think that this card is negative, and actually it's really not. I like to think of it as bringing to our awareness our addictions, our attachments, our anything that are holding us back from living our best lives. So I know that Cancers are a water sign. You're tied to your emotions. So overeating could be kind of a vice for Cancers, or anything that's kind of overdone to bring comfort, you know. And I would say that now's the time, and the energies are saying, you know, to break free from your whatever addictions it is. It could be to people, it could be a person, it could be to working, it could be a workaholic. It doesn't necessarily always have to be like alcohol or drugs. But I would say the energies are calling for you to break free from something that you are attached to. And anything outside of yourself that brings comfort to yourself is kind of what this card represents. We should be able to be with ourselves and have that be enough, you know, without any vices. I mean, everybody has vice, you know, we're not all like evolved right away. It is a journey. But I would say the current present energies are asking you to kind of first be aware. You know, you have to be really honest with yourself. It's not always easy, but I promise you it'll benefit you in the end, because we have to first be aware of our hangups in order to fix them, right? So anything that you may be attached to, again, it could be a person, it could even be working out, it could be eating, it could be anything. Anything that's kind of not serving you, that you're doing in less, if you're not doing it in moderation, it's kind of doesn't behoove you. So I would say that that's the first part of this read here, and the advice. So the Seven of Swords, either you're deceiving yourself or someone else is deceiving you, and that could be the Devil, that could be attachment. This could be a person that you're attached to who is not good for you. Let's say this person is a manipulator, a liar, keeps secrets, you know, and then that would be what you have to detach from. It's not easy, I get it, you know, but you have to ask yourself, am I loving myself by staying in this relationship? Is this good for me by staying in this relationship or situationship? You know, friendship, it could be any kind of relationship with another person. It doesn't always have to be romantic. But someone is definitely lying to you, or you're lying to yourself. You want to keep this hidden. Like it's you know, it's hard having to look at our not so pleasant qualities or our hangups. You know, it's not easy. But I promise you, if you do and you face them and you're aware of them and you take steps to fix it, it is so worth it in the end. I promise you, because you come out. I like to use the analogy of the lotus flower. You know, the lotus flower grows through mud and muck and this horrible thing, but then when it gets to the surface and it blooms, it's this beautiful flower. It's so beautiful, like it can't be, there's nothing more beautiful sometimes. So I would really encourage you to kind of, if you're dealing with someone who you know, Cancers are, in my opinion, the most intuitive sign of the zodiac. If you feel that somebody's lying to you, or if you have proven that maybe a partner is lying to you, you know, try to, at least if you don't get out of it, just at least realize it to yourself, because that's half the battle. You know, just be honest with yourself. And then we have the Eight of Pentacles. So after doing this work, and like I said, you don't have to leave the whatever relationship it is. You just have to be aware of it. That's the first step. Then you will become more stable. Pentacles are stable energy. This is also has to do with money. So if you're reading this for a career purposes, or you're kind of investing and this in the next card will kind of indicate that you're investing well, that you're doing well financially. Either that or you're becoming a more stable person. So the Eight of Pentacles, and then we have the Seven of Pentacles right next to that. So again, money, stability, maybe you're becoming more stable in yourself. Maybe if, you know, because you are Cancer, you're the most intuitive sign, in my humble opinion, maybe you'll be trusting yourself more, you know, because we all know when something's not right. We all have that gut feeling about something, and then we're like, oh God, we're kicking ourselves for not listening. But I think, yeah, this is either, if this isn't job or career related, you're becoming more stable in yourself and in like your seat where you are, who you are, and you're beginning to trust yourself more, which is a great thing. But guess what? You can't have that without someone lying to you and you being attached to something first. This to me is a successful outcome. If this is you becoming more stable in yourself and more sure of yourself and more trusting of yourself, to me, you've succeeded in your growth pattern there, because to overcome our attachments, to overcome, you know, even if you're lying to yourself, I see you coming out of that. You know, I don't see a person changing. I think that this, the brunt of responsibility kind of falls in your lap to decide. And I see growth for you here, which is always wonderful. That's kind of the point of being here, right, on Earth, is to learn and grow. So the reading ends with the two soulmate cards. You got two soulmate cards in one reading. I've never done that in all the readings I've been doing. I think once you get out of the illusion of what love is and what it's not, and you become more grounded in yourself, in your intuition, the universe is going to bring you your soulmate. This is two confirmations of that. Your soulmate is coming after that. Get rid of this person who's kind of like secretive and lying, maybe even cheating, or, you know, it could be like a narcissistic personality. You know, and empaths, you know, water signs are more linked to empaths, and empaths tend to attract not so great people, than actually the opposite end of the spectrum, the narcissists, if you will. If you don't know what a narcissist is, you know, I would suggest you Google it, but narcissists and empaths kind of do this dance, and they're both there to teach each other something, but it's not pleasant journey sometimes. But once you figure this all out, you're going to have your soulmate, the one is coming in for you, and you got two confirmations of that. So I feel confident. I usually typically don't kind of give like a solid answer, but I would say your soulmate's coming. And look, the lotus flower, I use that analogy. Look at that, the lotus flower. See that? Wonderful, Cancer. So happy for you. Stay strong and courageous. And then we'll read your, here, I forgot this. Let's see. Your oracle card. So perfect. Spiritual growth. And that's what the reading is kind of indicative of. The entire reading. And I find that the oracle cards kind of like sum up the readings for most of them I've had. Spiritual growth. Nothing is more important than spiritual growth here in the earth plane. It's what we've come for. It's why we're here. Nothing is more beneficial to us than connecting with our higher self. So Cancer, I love you. Good luck. Scorpio, welcome to your reading. I like to say this disclaimer. This is for the current and present energies, or for whenever you're finding this reading. So keep what resonates. Scorpios are the most psychic sign, so you will know right away what's for you and what's not. I like to always just say, like, keep what resonates, discard what doesn't. And I have no problem that you'll have an issue doing that for yourself. So let's jump into the reading, okay? Okay, we have the Five of Swords, the Knight of Swords, the Five of Pentacles, the Wheel of Fortune, the Tower, and then the bottom of the deck energy is the Page of Wands. Okay, Scorpio, so either you're deceiving yourself or someone is deceiving you. The Five of Swords is indicative of some kind of, it could also mean like mental strife, like you're having some kind of mental unclarity, like maybe some anxiety. But I typically tend to look at the 5 and 7 of Swords as somebody's lying to you, or you could be lying to someone. So that's how the reading starts off. So I have a feeling that it's kind of going to, the reading's going to kind of go in the way of what to do about this, whether it be yourself or someone else. So that's where we're going to start. And remember, this is only current and present times, and it doesn't always have to be a betrayal when somebody's lying to you. You know, they could be keeping something that's going to hurt you and thinking they're benefiting you. So there's a whole bunch of things that this card can mean, but essentially it typically means someone's hiding something from you. Or you could be hiding something from yourself, only you would know that. And then we have the Knight of Swords. So the Knight of Swords is you're coming to some clarity. The Ace of Swords would be ultimate clarity. So the Knight is not yet a king or an ace. So you are coming to some clarity. Like, it means that life is kind of revealing things to you. You know, you're kind of revealing, maybe it's like your inner circle. There are people you don't trust in your inner circle, or maybe you're the one who can't be trusted in your inner circle. But either way, it's clarity is coming. So whether it's you or someone else or your group, you're gonna have an epiphany moment. I always like to have, swords are kind of like clarity, so I always use the epiphany analogy when I'm talking about swords. So swords is the mind, and there's going to be it's not going to be a full-on picture clarity, but you're going to have more than you did from the 5 of Swords. So the 5 of Swords to the Knight of Swords is a large gap in between. That's how I like to explain it. So clarity is coming in regards to that. Okay, Scorpio. So the next card is the 5 of Pentacles, and this is indicative of some kind of loss you're experiencing. It could be a loss of financial loss, or maybe you lost a friendship, lost a relationship. Either way, you're feeling down about it right now. And remember, this is current and present energy reading. So, or whatever you're finding in this video. So if this isn't true for you, just, you know, like I said at the beginning, just bypass this. But this is indicative of a loss of some kind, and you're feeling sad over it, which is normal when we experience loss, right? And then we have the Wheel of Fortune. So after this loss, if this is happening for you, luck is on your side. So the universe is going to sweep in and totally make up for whatever it is you lost. And, you know, that could be anything. It could be like, you know, if you lost respect for someone, it doesn't always have to be, you know, material things. It could just be like something happening in our own inner being, which is how I read tarot. So, yeah, so luck is on your side. So anything you kind of endure after this loss is the universe bringing luck. That's how I'm reading this, which is always a great thing, you know. And I have found in my own life that when people or other, you know, or if I face disappointment in life, I find that the universe will always sweep in and bring me something that will make me smile. It kind of like, it knows our sadness, and it just wants to come in and cheer us up. And I have experienced that in my own life. So that's how I'm reading this. Like, something is going to come in, whether it be a person, a song, a book, a movie, something good will come out of this. You know, the universe is going to sweep in, and your luck will change if it's financial loss, you know. And then we have the Tower. So this kind of all goes with the reading, and Scorpios are not immune to Tower moments. You know, you're literally the sign of, you know, transformation. You have to destroy the old to build the new. It's the Shiva energy in Hinduism, as they call it. Shiva's frowned upon if you don't really understand that deity. But some people, like Scorpios, you guys can handle this. So you're used to things crashing down and then being built better and stronger. So this I find in this spread, there's going to be a loss. The universe is going to jump in, and it's going to bring you an intended to elevate you, crashing down point of something. So something of the old will come crashing down to be built anew. And then you have the Page of Wands. Good news. Good news is coming. A message of good news is coming. Something happy is happening after all of this kind of mental confusion, some kind of loss. You'll be able to associate it to your life as you will. If it resonates, the universe will step in. the Tower moment, which looks like a terrible, horrible situation, will actually end up leading to happiness. So good news is coming. Just keep the faith, Scorpio. Good news is coming. And then we'll read your oracle card. Ah, volunteer. So one of my favorite teachers is Edgar Cayce, and this card reminds me of one of his readings. Through one of his readings, he said, when we're having a hard time in our own life, go out and reach out to your neighbors and bake them cookies. So sometimes when I adopted this in my own life, if I'm having like, you know, a trend of just horrible, horrible events, I will actually take the focus off myself and my sadness and go out and help someone else. And I think that is beyond genius advice. And it's something that I do in practice in my own life, and something that has helped me incredibly well to get out of ourselves and to go help with someone else. And you'll be so surprised how quickly you forget about your own sorrows and troubles. So this is the advice card for you, Scorpio. Go out and help somebody, okay? Good luck.
Oh, April, thank you so much for such wonderful readings for all signs. And that's a really big energy to be in, to what you've just done. You know, it takes a toll on us to be tapping into all those signs and to read for such an extended period as you've just done. So we here at Guiding Star Astrology on the YouTube channel, we really appreciate what you've just given us and that beautiful blessing through that reading. So thank you very much. And thank you for joining us here on the YouTube channel as well.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
So my beautiful friends out there in YouTube land, if you would like a reading with April, all you've got to do is head to the link in the description below. I've also popped a banner across on occasion for this video as well with all the link details. If you would like to have a reading done by April about your situation, can be, you know, it can be anything. It can be about a relationship or a job or a moving house or some emotional experience you're going through. If you want clarity and wisdom and guidance from a modern day seer, then do book your reading with April. You will not regret it. She is a bundle of love and wisdom, and she's here to bless you. So April, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Kesenya. Thank you for having me. Truly.
Such a delight, and it's so wonderful to have you on the Guiding Star channel as well. So we look forward to hearing more from April in the future. Thank you, Apryl.
Thank you, Kesenya. Bye, guys.